Hey everybody, welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. In the last episode, we got all three pendants and obtained the Master Sword, the Blade of Evil's Bane, and in this episode, we're going to continue on to Hyrule Castle. Now, I always liked this. Hyrule Castle was the first major area we visited at the start of the game, and now it's actually going to become a proper dungeon. Well, kind of anyway. We're going to be exploring a whole heck of a lot more of the castle than we did on the first run through, starting by going this way. We could not head this direction before because to actually get through this laser gate, we actually had to slash it with the Master Sword, otherwise we could not get through. And here we go. Now, yeah, we're going to have a lot of floors to get through here, so we're going to best get moving. However, there's not really going to be many puzzles in this area. It's more so just going to be an enemy gauntlet area. Shoot, go away. And fortunately, I'm sucking pretty hard at this being an enemy gauntlet area. I'm already down to 3 health. Jeez, man. Jeez, man. Alright, and I always like to call these the unicorn soldiers because when they're being seen from the side, it kind of looks like their swords are sticking out of their foreheads rather than them just holding it upwards. And here's more dark gimmicks, as if the sewers weren't enough already. And we have these keys that kind of look like Krakow from the Kirby series. Get away from me, freaking thing. This Hyrule Castle song is also another thing that Link to the Past started with that would go on to be used later on as the main theme for any time you're in a Hyrule Castle-esque place in the Legend of Zelda series. You got the thing! Haven't been doing that enough. I need to start doing that more. And it's going to go back to being dark. Come on. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but it kind of goes without saying that the Master Sword does double the damage of your original sword, so very nice to have. It's not only double the reach, but also double the power. One might even say piece of power. Whoa! I got lucky with that. Nice. Okay, and then here's the soldiers. And here are now bottomless pits in this area, so you want to be careful. Go, my friend! Attack the evil man! Nice, that actually worked. I didn't want him to knock me off, so I did that instead. Here's to using you more later throughout the series. Oh, shoot, I should have faced upward. No, get away from me. Get away from me. Okay, and then here's the key there. Where's the key? Where's the key? Where's the beautiful key? And here we have more of these red soldiers that launch their spears at you. And more red soldiers, but instead of launching their spears at you, they're gonna actually try to hit you with their spears. Oh, shoot, go away. Oh, shoot, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Okay, trying to see if there's any hearts here. Okay, there's one. And it looks like that's going to be the only one unless no. And, oh great, another golden one that's going to take all my health away if the beginning of this dungeon is anything to go by. Oh wow, I actually took care of him, nice. And we don't really need to fight these guys because this door is wide open, so let's go on ahead. And there's no more darkness coming up, so we're good on that front. Oh shoot, don't go off the ledge. Aha! Link! I've been waiting for you. Hehehe. I was hoping I could make Zelda vanish in front of your eyes. Behold! The last moments of Princess Zelda. Epic ventriloquism! Ho ho ho! What are you, Santa? With this, the seal of the 7 wise men is now broken. It is now only a matter of time before evil power covers this land. After all, the legendary hero cannot defeat us, the tribe of evil, when we are armed with the power of gold. Ho ho ho! Now I must go! As you can see, the storytelling in this game is a lot more, is a lot deeper than it was in the first 2 games for sure. Another staple that the series would go on with. Oh, so you mean to say you would like to be totally destroyed? Well, now I can make your wish come true. Gonna wreck it. Okay. So, here in the battle with Aghanim. Another gimmick that's going to be used throughout the series. He's going to start by shooting these energy balls at you, and you're going to want to deflect them back with your sword. If they're the large flashing balls, that means you're going to deflect them back and then do damage to him. He's also going to use these small little blue balls. I actually missed that, damn it. That you can't deflect back at him. You can slash it at your sword to avoid the attack, but that's all it does. And then once he goes to the center there, he's going to shoot lightning at you. You want to get out if he ever goes to the center, just so he doesn't hit you with the lightning. And then there's his little blue pellets there. Okay, so he'll attack a number of times, and then he'll go to the center and then shoot lightning at you. But as long as you stay out of the middle, he won't hit you with the lightning. Well met, like the true hero that you are, but I'm not ready to admit defeat yet. I will draw you into the Dark World. Contracting the Sith Lords, I will banish you to the Shadow Realm! Link, it is I, Sahasrahla. I am communicating to you across the void through telepathy. Why am I having such trouble saying that word? The place where you now stand was the Golden Land, but evil power turned it into the Dark World. The wizard has broken the wise man's seal and opened a gate to link the world at Hyrule Castle. In order to save this half of the world, the Light World, you must win back the Golden Power. You must also rescue the 7 maidens who Aghanim sent to the Dark World as members of the bloodline of the 7 wise men. They have the power that will surely help you. The maidens are locked in hidden dungeons full of evil creatures and dangerous traps. The Palace of Darkness should be your first goal in this world. Link, I can rely on only you. Please make this old man's wishes come true. I beg you. And with that, we are now thrusted into the Dark World. We were briefly in this world before we went on to the 3rd dungeon, but now we're going to explore it fully. And we're going to start by collecting a piece of heart. Now, later on in the series, in A Link Between Worlds, this area will come to be known as Low Rule, but in this game, it's going to be just known as the Dark World, or the Sacred Realm, as it would be known in Ocarina of Time. You want to be very careful when you're fighting enemies in this area, because they're going to do a lot of damage to you. I'm talking like 3 to 5 hearts of damage per hit. So you really do not want to get hit in this area. And you also want to make sure you at least have over 110 rupees. You're going to see why in a little bit here. And although you would want to explore this world, you could see that it's pretty much an entirely new overworld, yeah. So, we're not even close to the end. Alright, and here you're pretty much railroaded into going into the area where the Eastern Palace was, because if you try to go anywhere else, you're going to be either blocked off by darker rocks that you cannot lift up yet with your current glove, or these pegs that you can't really do anything about. So when you're first sent into the Dark World, you can't really do anything else besides go up here. And these things look like frickin' Yoda, I swear. Right, now we want to go through these little areas. Wherever you see kind of like the little hollow spots, that's where the grass is where you can go through. You'll also see little patches of dirt in front of the entrances where you can go through as well. So there's kind of some clues that you can see that will get you through this area, no problem. And a monkey! I'm Kiki, the monkey key! I love rupees more than anything. Can you spare me 10 rupees? What will you do? You want to give him the 10 rupees. And he's going to accompany us. You want to make sure you don't get hit, otherwise you're going to waste those 10 rupees, because it's the moment you get hit, he abandons you. I guess you can pay him to stay, but his only rules are you must not get hit, otherwise will abandon. Key, if you give me 100 rupees, I will open the entrance for you. This is pay to win! And that is the entrance to the Palace of Darkness. I think I can talk about this dungeon. Of course I can. This is the first dungeon of the Dark World, the Palace of Darkness. As you can see by the map, it draws a lot of similarities from the first dungeon of the Light World, the Eastern Palace. It's a 2-floor dungeon. It actually starts getting a lot more complicated than usual in this dungeon. You can see there that it has 6 keys as opposed to like the 2 or 3 we had in previous dungeons. However, if you know how to navigate, you can easily get through this dungeon in about 4 keys, I believe. As you can see, the item there is going to be a magic hammer that'll pretty much allow you to flip over certain enemies, and it'll allow you to clear some overworld obstacles like those pegs that were blocking our way throughout the overworld. If you don't get the magic hammer, then you're basically just locked into this small area where you can find the Palace of Darkness, and that's it. This dungeon, pretty much you just have to keep going between top floor and bottom floor and try to navigate your way through it. It's all not too difficult. You should figure it out pretty easily. Tackle this right now. And, as you can see, it's very reminiscent of the first dungeon, the Eastern Palace. But that's pretty much the only time that it's going to be similar, because this dungeon is very different from the Eastern Palace. Now we're getting introduced to Dark World dungeons, which are the areas where dungeons are going to get a lot more complicated from here on out. So yeah, dungeons are going to be getting way more complex here. Also, the song changed from the Light World dungeons, and I like the song a lot more. It actually does set the mood for dangerous dark traps in these areas. Now, these shielded foes will block your attacks if they're facing you with your sword, but if you just throw a pot at them, you'll completely ignore their defense. I don't think I mentioned that, but whenever a wall is like really cracked like that, you can use a bomb, but also you can also dash into the wall and it will break all the same. So if you want to save on bombs, you can just dash into the wall and they will break still. Now these enemies, they will only move when you move, but they'll mirror your movements rather than move in the direction that you're going. So yeah, you can see here. Well, the green one follows me left to right, but the red one is actually mirroring my movements. I took care of the green one, but much like the Armo statues, the red one will only be hurt by arrows, so you want to do that. And you kind of want to make it so that he runs into your attack, and I'm miserably failing right now. Jeez. Alright, and there's treadmills taking me to the opposite direction here. And we got the map! Okay. Now, this is where fake cracks are going to be introduced in this dungeon as well. So, now would be a good idea to start checking if walls are going to be fake throughout the dungeon. If you see a crack, don't immediately go to your bombs. Instead, check it with your sword. Make sure it makes that sound before heading on through. Now, well, I got hurt, so now I need it. But this room is just a full fairy room, so I don't really need it because I'm already full on my bottles. Anyways, there's no way we can get past those little diglets, I guess. That's the best way I could describe them. So, best thing to do is just to head on forward. Or head on backward, I guess. Now, if you ever want to go to the beginning of the dungeon real quickly, you could just use the magic mirror, and it'll take you back to the beginning, to the entrance of the dungeon that you're currently in. So, it's not just to teleport between worlds. It's also used for, in case you want to go back to the beginning of a dungeon, which in some cases it's really useful to do so. In case like you missed an item or something. Alright, and we can't do anything about those turtles there yet. Alright, and now we have the instance of bombable floors. Alright, and I don't really think we need that door up there. I think we can completely skip that. Instead, let's go down here. Oh shoot, I thought we could hit them with the skulls, but no, they're completely invincible. There's nothing you can do about them, so best thing is to just avoid them completely. And this takes us back to the room where we were in already. Alright, and pushing this block off here. Oh no, I'm stupid. I know what to do. I was wrong. We actually do have to go through that door. Duh. Jeez, man. Jeez, man. Shouldn't be making mistakes like that, because I don't really want to make this episode last longer than it needs to, because I'm already I was kind of worried about doing this dungeon because I didn't know if I would have enough time, and I'm kind of wasting it here. Okay, let's go up this wall here. So we did need to unlock the door. Something cool about these dungeons is that not all locked doors are required to go through. So if you know where to go later on in some dungeons, you can get all the items without even having to use up all your keys, which is really cool. So yeah, as long as you know where you're going, you can definitely get through the dungeon a lot easier if you know what you're doing. I guess that would be a good time to talk about this. If you guys notice that Link's sprite here, I mean, it looks alright, but there is one caveat with it, and that's the pink hair. For some reason, he ended up having pink hair in his sprite in this game. And for the longest time, I've always wondered why. And apparently it's because since old CRTs were kind of bad quality, in order to make it so that oh shoot, I should probably get that chest there because I think that's a key, and we do need 2 keys going up here. Yeah, in order to make it so that you would be able to see Link a lot easier, they made his hair pink that contrasts against all the other colors in the game, because there was a tons of greens and tons of browns everywhere. So making his hair brown like it was back in the day would kind of make it so that he blends into the background more, and it would make it harder to keep track of him. And yeah, as you saw there, you can now pick bombs up whenever you place them to solve more puzzles that way. Pretty interesting. Okay, you want to hold this so you can take care of that guy coming up there, and hopefully you can get through this. Dude! Ah! It's always a gamble whether I get past him or not. Jeez. Okay, take care of him. And it looks like you're getting a longer episode, you guys. Oh well, I shouldn't stress it out too much. I just don't really like making my episodes longer than 20 minutes because I always feel like it's too long. But I guess I could try and go for 25. If I can actually make it through this maze, jeez. Jeez, man. Let's get that chest, because I think that's a key. Yep. Man, I already had bomb selected. I don't know why I went to my menu. Oh, shoot! Yeah, another difference between bombs in the first game and in this game is that they now hurt you. Anyway, we got the magic hammer, which is just a hammer. Literally nothing magic about it. But now we can pound in those mole guys that were blocking our path earlier, and we can get through deeper into the dungeon. So, let's go. If I can find the way out of here. And I just realized I'm pretty low on health here. And we got the compass. Hooray. We don't need to go to that lower door, I don't think. So it's best to just go this way. Or, again, I'm wrong about that. Okay, we do need to go there. But there's a bunch of rupees in this room. And this is another key that we do need, actually. So it's a good thing we went down here. There is a chest on the other side and then some rupees, but the other chest only has a single arrow in it, so you don't really need to go get it. Oh, and now that we have the hammer, actually, we can flip over these turtles and now they become vulnerable. If you let them flip over, they will be faster than they were beforehand, so yeah. I guess it's kind of a reference to the original Mario Brothers arcade, where if you take too long to kill the enemies once you flip them over, then they'll become faster when they flip back. And they are turtles, so, I mean, it's not too far-fetched to think that's a reference to the original Mario Brothers arcade. Alright, and new mechanic, if you step off that switch, that door will go back to being closed, so what you want to do is push this statue over here. And it will push down on the button. Hooray for physics, I guess. Thank you, Albert Einstein. And more of these things appear. Something kind of weird is that if you have full health and you use your Master Sword, it's a lot more likely for the enemies to take damage from the beams, even if you're really close to them, because the beams come out the front of the sword, and it's very likely that they will hit the enemy before the actual blade gets to hit the enemy. So, oddly enough, sometimes it's good to be at less than full health so the beams don't screw you over. And man, that guy was really pissed off that it hit him in the eye. I mean, to be fair, if you only had one good eye and it was shot and you just see a small child shoot an arrow at it, I'd be pretty pissed off too, so I don't blame him exactly. Or I said that wrong. I should have said I don't exactly blame him. And you want to make sure you have that extra key when you come down here, because otherwise you'll be stuck here in this final locked door. So yeah, that's kind of a jerk move if you don't get a key before coming into this lower area, that the locked door is just right there without you knowing there's there's another key in this little area. So yeah, kind of pulling a water temple there. Shoot, I'm trying to hit the turtle, but it's not going. It's not connecting for some reason. Flip over. All right, and wow, this doesn't remind me of anything at all. No. And apparently it really doesn't because I'm having trouble entering this area. Alright, and now we've reached the final corridor here. And here we have our first boss with the Helmasaur King. And since you got the magic hammer in this dungeon, it's going to help you fight the boss. He does a lot of damage when you run into him, so you want to be careful. What you want to start off by doing is that you won't be able to do any damage to it until you take off the plating that is on his head. Or on his face, I guess. To do that, you want to hit him a bunch of times with the magic hammer, and then it'll take the plating off. Now, he is going to start running way faster and breathing fire at you. It's going to split into thirds, and then it's going to split into fourths. To avoid the fire, just go to the side of each fireball that you see. And you want to make sure that you're close to his face, otherwise he will hit you with his tail. His tail is only, it doesn't home in on you, but it hits a set distance away from his face. So just stay close to his face and you should be good to go. And wow, that was a pretty close boss fight. Link, because of you, I can escape from the clutches of the evil monsters. Thank you. This world used to be the Golden Land where the Triforce was hidden. But because Ganon, the boss of thieves, wished it, the world was transformed. I'm sure he is intending to conquer even our light world after building his power here. He is trying to open a larger gate between worlds near the castle using our powers. But the gate is not open completely yet. If we 7 maidens come together, we can break the barrier around Ganon's hiding place. I will tell you where the other girls are held. I believe you will destroy Ganon. I will return to my original form at that time. Do you understand? May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. And with that concludes the first Dark World dungeon of the game. And if you check your map, yeah, we got a whopping 6 more dungeons to tackle. So, next time on The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, we're going to continue on and tackle another dungeon here in the Dark World. See you guys next time.